won't see me stop, no, you won't see me quit. I'm gonna make it to the top if it's the last thing I did. Never catch me, man, I'm gone, cause I'll be working off the grid. Grinding through all the pain, I said I'd do it and I did. I'm the type to work until my hands fucking bleed. I'm the type to fight when others falling to their knees. I'm the type to ask for more pain, give it please. Cause on the other side of pain is everything I fucking need. I got a hunger inside of me, a flame ignites entirely. I work daily quietly to build a perfect dynasty, a place where my mind is free from the chains of society. I take.
Alright, hey everybody, welcome to F.A.W.B episode 28. And today I have with me Red Fox here and the Buffalo Joe's back from Panama. Hey, I'm Naughty Nate, the host. So jumping right into it, guys. How's everybody been? Everybody been going?
Not bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, Joey's been doing well. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I've been kind of having a little bit of a rough week physically. I've been just hurting a lot, man. Honestly, my body's been beat up from training so much and getting people ready for April 26th, the next Street Beefs Scrapyard competition. That should be fun. I think we have 4 competitors going up there. So Slav ain't nothing yet. Bolo, the chef's coming back. I'm going to be potentially competing, and also maybe Dad. So maybe we got 5 competitors.
Yeah.
So look forward to that, April 26th. If you don't have the Millions app, make sure to download that because they're selling pay-per-view to see the event live. April 26th, so make sure you guys check that out.
Millions.co.
Millions.co. Yeah, and follow the Reptilian Top Team on Facebook. We're building that up, so you'll stay up to date on, what our competition team is doing here at Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu and what events we have coming up.
Yeah.
So how's your training been, Red Fox?
It's been different. I've had to adjust everything for this sprained ankle. The second time in 3 months I think that I've rolled this ankle.
Yeah.
So
it's some weak ankles.
Some weak ankles. So just adjusting my training for that. I haven't done stand up, and I, picked up my ground game.
Yeah, I saw you working your ground game today with Rebecca. You guys were getting in some jiu-jitsu, so that's really good.
It was awesome. Which
brings up a pretty good point. Even if you do have like an injury, it shouldn't prevent you from training. There's always something you can work on. Mm-hmm. Just keep that in mind. For anybody out there that's injured, there are some things, of course, like a serious back injury or some kind of virus or something. Staph, you want to stay off the mat if you have staph. Yeah. But there are a lot of ways that you can train. So I wouldn't let a busted hand or something keep you out of the gym. So.
Or a busted ankle.
Or busted. What's the busted ankle?
It's just been a whole different. I don't want to lose all my cardio either, because it's going to be a couple of months of recovery.
It goes quick.
And it goes so fast.
Yeah.
Even being out for a week, coming back from having the flu or something like that, I always feel like my cardio takes a dive. And then bringing it back. So I've done a lot of also bike work lately, but in short bursts.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes at a time, and building up to that 30 minutes on that.
And that bike is killer, man. Oh,
it depends on the bike. Like this one over here, what is it? The fan bike? That one will tear you up.
Oh yeah.
If you go to like the ones in the gym, the ones like in a regular gym where you don't have like to use your hands or anything, you can do so much more.
Plus with this one, it like builds up resistance the harder you go too.
Yes.
So we really emphasize on those sprints, do those like 20, 30-second sprints followed by like a 10-second rest, and do that for like 3 to 5 minutes, and that'll really up the cardio. You're just getting back from a nice long trip. Before we hear about that trip though, let's do a quick shout out to the sponsors. Always Well Acupuncture. I had acupuncture while you were gone.
Oh, nice.
It was really good. It was quite the experience. They put needles all throughout my body. Got my chi all right, and fixed up my shoulder, my neck, and that was really something. I've never had any kind of Eastern medicine done before, but you know, that really did help. So yeah, it was nice. It was a good experience. Guys, check out their website, I believe. Yeah, it's a website. Check out the website. Schedule an appointment. If you mention F.A.W.B when you schedule your appointment, they'll give you a 10% discount. So make sure you mention us. Also, we have dads.org. Dadshouse.org. Thank you. Online store, a lot of amazing stuff on there. We're actually going to be helping him here in the next week or two, kind of reorganize a little bit of the online stuff and go through that process. So expect some new things on their site soon. And then Cavocado over in Bremerton. Is that right?
You sure did.
Bremerton, over there, those guys. You know, they're one of the, well, first of all, they're really good friends of ours. We met them over at the scrapyard events. They're the vendors over there. They provide a lot of the food for the scrapyard. Tap out tacos, some of the best tacos in Washington State. They're selling their sauces now, like which the sauce you put on tacos. We have some at home. We put it on everything. It's amazing.
I want some. I want some.
Lights out hot sauce. It's so good,
It's
right?
so
We're gonna have to bring you some tacos with some lights out sauce on
Yeah.
there.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave their Facebook in the description below. So be sure to check them out as well. We thank all of our sponsors. If you guys would like to become partners with us and be a part of the podcast, reach out to me and we'll see if we can make it happen. Now, Joe, please tell us about Panama.
Yeah.
I want to hear about Panama.
So, you know, I somebody asked me, hey, are you excited about the trip to Panama? And I was so busy that I couldn't even factor it in. Like when it comes up, it comes up. Like until then, I can't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the day of, I'm writing assignments, I'm hacking, and I'm just a mess, you know. And I get out there, and the first day it's like a 10-hour, 12-hour flight. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember that we had a long, we had a layover in Miami for like 3 hours, and then so we started at 10 o'clock, and then we didn't get into Panama until maybe 1 p.m. And
you know, that's it's funny enough. Me and Justine were just talking about the turn off, the traveling. It's those long flights, man. Like you're stuck next, like we don't even have this much room on the flight.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are like shoulder to shoulder, and you know you're a big boy, so being all stuck like a sardine.
So the two options that I have, right, is either I get by the window, and then I'm trapped, right? And nobody wants like the big dude to like be like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. You know, can you all get out?
Yeah.
Or I get the aisle seat, and if you get the aisle seat and you have shoulders as wide as mine, you're just gonna get hit every single time that. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I'm not getting a lot of sleep, dude.
Oh, man.
Especially not landing at your mouth, though.
And then there's the time difference when you get there, too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just a long travel day.
Yeah, it really was. But once we got checked in, I realized that this is maybe the nicest hotel that I've. Oh, so I went in with the WSU Study Abroad program, so I didn't just go on by myself.
Yeah, you weren't just taking some weird trip.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. So I went in with the WSU Abroad program, and we go to it's probably the nicest hotel that I've ever stayed in, you know, and you know, there's just the pool, there's a breakfast in the morning that like they have like a menu. So they have a menu that like
you just have like some hot cakes out.
No, it's way different.
That's cereal that he just
They have those like muffins that you're like, I wonder how long this has been there, man. You know what I mean? No, they have like stuff that you can order. They have like chopped up salmon. Like every morning there's fresh salmon. There's fresh fruit. There is usually some kind of mix of like American cuisine and then like something like that is more like Panamanian. And so like the breakfast in the morning, and then you can order stuff too. So if you want to order something, you can order something and pay for it. But there's really no need.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like it.
Yeah. And then during the day, we would have something that we had to do every single day. And so usually that involved us going and visiting a business, listening to some seminars, you know, seeing how their business worked. And then at night, we were kind of released to go do our thing.
Yeah.
And so I got to do some pretty cool stuff. You know, I got to go to a place called Monkey Island, you know, where I got to feed some little monkeys, man.
Did you try to take one?
I would have taken one of those things, man. If I thought I could get away with it, I would have done it.
Yeah, we're just seen those monkeys. Rip off your eyelid or something.
It is like I do when they were closed, because they're just like taking stuff out of your hand,
Yeah.
just watching you, and I'm like, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, oh, you're just like me.
Yeah, it's like we started communicating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, look, the only thing, like, throw a pair of basketball shorts on you, we're the same thing, man. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Hard apo, man.
Yeah. And you know, I got to talk to the VP of their global bank, which that was that was.
You know some people
Yeah.
from other places.
That was like I felt like I was gonna break something in their office, you know, in their board meeting office. I'm like sitting there, like, oh man, everything looks expensive. We got to take like a bus ride for an hour, and then a canoe ride for an hour to this indigenous tribe that like has been virtually untouched for like thousands of years. And so
It's like some people that are in college.
yeah, that's their only form of revenue. So, like, so like what I mean by untouched, I mean they haven't, like, there's not a computer inside. Yeah, they still like.
Yeah, and then you go like 20 miles the other way, and that's where they all actually live.
It very well could be there, but we didn't see all that. So, but they
It's like a renaissance.
Yeah.
Wow, that's people too.
Yeah.
Wow.
You catch one on their cell phone, you're like, hey, wait a second. This isn't now, this is.
I don't know what this
Yeah.
is. What was it?
Yeah.
Everybody has cell phones.
Yeah. Well, I go, where's the Wi-Fi, bro?
It's like the BP guys, not even a BP guy, it's like a janitor.
Yeah,
They
it was like,
dress up.
hey, where's the
college
super
kids?
But no, so you know, like they took us in, they danced for us, you know, and
Indigenous people did?
yeah, then they fed us, and they
What
had
did they feed you guys?
there was like this fried fish, and then it was kind of like right under the river,
You know?
the river that they live on. It was just like right
He
there.
just starts walking up.
Yeah. And then fresh
there-
fruit, and what I'll say is their pineapple was the best pineapple I've ever had in my life.
No.
Yeah, it was the sweetest pineapple. I felt like I was actually eating a dessert.
Did they have any kind of like seasoning they put on?
It had to have been just salt, if there
Yeah.
was. You know what I mean? There was definitely something on it, but it wasn't.
What do you think they got that salt from?
I don't know, probably Fred Meyer, I imagine. Yeah. They probably went to their local Safeway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
local convenience.
That's what I was thinking. That's why.
Yeah. But anyways, no, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really did there.
Yeah. But anyways, so like after like that, you know, I got to try to figure out a place to train, right? And so that was challenging in itself
Did
because
you try to train with any of the indigenous?
I would have rolled with some of them. I think I would have won. I think I could have probably set up a jiu-jitsu school there.
That would have been kind of cool, honestly. Maybe I showed you like some like tribal martial arts.
Yeah.
Here you are, we're like, no. Like it's kept us safe for thousands of years. Like it's time to get to that.
Yeah.
That's what I read.
Yeah, but your enemies didn't know jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, well,
So,
there's that.
So anyways, we the first place that I tried, I don't remember the name of it, but I got
Isn't it like Reptilian Top Team, I think is what you.
no, that was where I trained in Zihuatanejo, and I messed up. I called it Reptilian Top Team, but what it really was just like the reptiles. And so, and I think that.
I was gonna say I didn't christen anybody else with that.
No. I think that was one of the things that we had already been talking. Reptilian Top Team was like a joke for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? It was like you know the
It still
reptile.
is.
Yeah, it's still And so. And so now that it's actually like our team name, like I think it's awesome. But I think that I don't think it was our team name back then.
No.
I don't think so.
I wanted to go with
years ago.
something else. Yeah, I was trying to go with something else and I got voted down. They're like, no, that's not right.
That's it. You were like, can it be Nate's Fight Factory?
We do this because, you know, I'm like, dude, that's like a band. It's like a band in the 70s. Now we're the Reptilian Top Team.
Yeah, but that was a cool place to train too because that was a hidden place.
Mhm.
Like you had to like look like I was talking to the guy on the phone, like texting him back and forth through Messenger, you know, and he was like, look for the little reptile, look for the little lizard.
You're always going on like Jiu-Jitsu jams. Back alley Jiu-Jitsu jams.
Scavenger hunt to find it.
Yeah, and it was cool to find that place. So the first place that I hit in Panama, we had dropped off in this neighborhood van, and first of all, I couldn't get none of the college kids to come with me. Like none of them. I was like, hey, you should come try, you know? And they were
Hard to
like,
get them to come in here.
Yeah.
Other countries.
And so finally, you know, because I think that they weren't really allowed to go off by themselves, but they were like,
You're the only adult. You're like, I'm like, 40.
Yeah.
I'm like 20. So
yes,
I couldn't go with me.
by the way, I was the only adult. I mean, they were adults. They were adults technically, but I'm a 40-year-old man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
And so I get dropped off in this freaking neighborhood in Panama, dude. I have no idea where I'm at. And I find the place, and it didn't even occur to me because it's the first thing I did in the morning, you know. I just grabbed my bag and just went, you know. And then I'm sitting there for a while, and I go to talk to like this police officer. I'm like, hey, what's up with this, this place? And they're like, it's closed. And I'm like, all right, well, it's closed. It should be open soon because it says it's going to open at 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. And so I'm waiting around, and like as the sun's coming up, and I'm like,
It's definitely 8 o'clock.
yeah, I'm like, wait a second. This place doesn't have the sign, the jiu-jitsu sign anymore. And I realized that, like,
You didn't see the gecko, did you?
yeah, no, they were closed.
Yeah.
They didn't live there
Don't
anymore.
exist.
Yeah.
They call was like, no, they're not. You see, like, walks off, they're like, they are.
It's like,
It's still on my phone.
yeah. It's like, this guy's an idiot. So the next place, I tried to get a hold of him, and I think that he did finally respond, but he was really short. It wasn't very welcoming, but I think there may be a language barrier or something like that. And I was just like, hey man, can I come in and train? And maybe I could bring some people with me. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And
Typical.
and so I went and I got dropped off. This one was in a strip mall. Like it was actually like in a mall, And so I get dropped off, and it's a 5:45 in the morning class. And I'm sitting there waiting outside, and like nobody's showing up. I'm mad because I'm like, this is the second attempt that I've tried, and I'll find one. I mean, I always find one, but it takes some effort sometimes.
Yeah.
And so this time I waited around. I wrote the dude. I'm like, hey dude, no one's showing up. It's 5:45.
It's jiu-jitsu, bro. We don't start.
Yeah, it is
like
you're in another country
Yeah.
and it's jiu-jitsu.
No.
We are still smoking weed, bro.
Exactly. Panama jiu-jitsu, bro.
And so finally, man, somebody shows up and it's a no-gi day, and one of the guys shows up and he's I only know he's a brown belt because he's carrying his stuff with him and he has his brown belt sitting there, and I thought he was the coach. I'm like, hey man, how you doing? And I get to talk to him for a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, I just want to make sure that I drop off some money because I don't want to go into a place and train for free. I know how hard it is to keep a jiu-jitsu school running, and I would hate when people would pop in and they
kick your butt and then leave. And
Well,
not
we
even
got-
pay a dollar.
We got bills to pay, man. Everybody has bills to pay, and I want to make sure that I'm paying wherever I'm going. And I learned that from you, by the way. Like with you guys, the way you travel around and stuff. But anyway, so we started rolling. They have a different setup for how they do jiu-jitsu. So immediately, right out of the gate, they do 6 rounds. Right? That's your rounds.
How long are their rounds?
Their rounds are 3 minutes.
Okay.
They're not 5. And then after that, then they'll do a lesson, and then they'll do like drilling, so the drilling itself lasts maybe an hour, and it's like positional sparring, and I did more back work, like taking people's backs and like drilling from there than I have all year, like all year, like it was just nothing but like, we're doing this from the back, this over and over, different kinds of drills, and when I was rolling, there was one dude that I kind of like butted heads with, and I kind of just like got on top of him and started shutting down his escapes because he pissed me off. Because he got on top of me, and I went to go sweep him, and I realized that I was gonna sweep him off the mat into something, and so I caught him, and I was like, "Hey, let's move over that way," and he's like, "No, I'm just trying to hold you down." And so I ended up like sweeping him the other way, and then passing his guard, getting on top, and side control, and he just started shutting down all of his stuff. And then it ended up being the morning coach, and I didn't know it, and I wouldn't have done that if I'd have known it was the morning coach. You know what I mean? Because like after that, I had to give like the $20 to somebody, and I'm like, I thought it was the brown belt, and I was like, here, man, like, here's some money. I want to make sure that, like, you guys get this. And he's like, no, I'm not the morning coach. It's that dude. And I'm like, oh, hey. And so I felt like a huge dick because that's not what I try to do when I go to other places. Because, like, one, I'm not the best guy in the world. There are people that can, like, beat my ass in jiu-jitsu.
Very humbling out there, for sure.
Yeah, but also I am 280, 285. You know what I mean? And I've been training for 6 years. So it's like there's a lot of stuff that I can do too.
Yeah.
And so it went really good. I got to like take some cool pictures with them, you know what I mean? And then I wrote a nice little like letter because that dude wasn't. I don't think that he wasn't the main coach. There was no way he was a black belt. But he was their morning coach. So I imagine he was like a blue belt or maybe a purple. Yeah. You know. And
he was wearing black belt?
No, it was a no-gi day.
Oh,
so I had no, like I said,
I would imagine he had to have been at least something because the brown belt was there. Why wouldn't he coach?
Well, because, I mean, if you're a brown belt, do you really want to coach in the morning? Do you really want to coach in the morning right now?
Till 5:45.
Yeah. No, man, you wait till somebody gets a blue belt. You're like, hey, you're the morning coach, bud.
Show up in the morning, go to this place.
That's what I'm assuming. I don't know. I've tried to look in their pictures to find the dude, and I haven't found him yet, so I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say.
How was the jiu-jitsu over there? That was pretty good.
Their jiu-jitsu was cool, man. Their jiu-jitsu is real good. They that back take stuff is their bread and butter. So they had really good mechanics for like setting up chokes and stuff like that from the back.
I would imagine so. If they're spending so much time on drilling and emphasizing that drilling, I mean that stuff, as monotonous as it gets, that stuff really does pay off. If you just drill it to where it's so automatic and it's there. There is a benefit to that. It's grinding, and it's hard to maintain, students that aren't competitors.
Sure.
That want to grind like that. So to have run a school, you gotta give them a little bit of something all the time.
Were they preparing for competition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that was.
They don't just do a lot of times when it comes to, from my understanding, when it comes to foreign countries, they don't look at martial arts the same way Americans do, where it's like a hobbyist thing. A lot of times when you're in a foreign country, especially some of these lower end impoverished countries,
Mhm.
they look at martial arts as like, you know, I fight to make money.
Mhm.
The risk of, you know, doing this as a hobby is too high. You know, you get injured
Sure.
doing this over
And
there,
then you
it's
can't
like
do your job,
you're
you
done.
can't work.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys that are doing this over there, they're training to compete to like make a living.
Yeah.
So the way they, you know, look at training and and stuff like that, it's always more intense.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see that when you go there, right? Like
Yeah.
you see the how they emphasize again on that drilling. You're gonna sit here, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do the monotonous stuff for hours at a time, and then you get that little carrot at the end where you get to roll for a second.
Yeah.
Well, they did it backwards.
Yeah, they did it
That's
backwards.
They do it backwards, but generally that's what it is. Like
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
carrot,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then you do all this work.
Right, right. And what I'll say is that it was intense. They had some guys that had some good moves. Nobody there was my size, so I mean that's usually what I run into when I train in a Latin country. But the brown belt there was very strong, and he had just this vice grip. I was just like, oh my god, man! Like just yeah. But he was cool, man. All of them were cool. I'm glad that that I got to do that. I would love to train more. So it seems like the culture out there, they like to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. They don't like to do Monday through Friday in the morning or Saturday and Sunday. So like if you're gonna train, you're gonna do either, because I checked maybe 4 different schools that were in the area, all same Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like either 5:45 or 6 in the morning. And then they have a noon class which I never would have been able to hit. And then,
Is it warmer though? Is it like too
oh
hot?
my god! Listen, man,
Maybe
it's
that's why they don't like afternoon.
Makes
games.
sense.
yeah,
Or they have to work.
Yeah.
right. So it is hot, and the humidity is. I went to go do a single leg on a guy, and I swear I felt like a wave of water, like coming to my mouth. And I was just like, what is going on right now, man? It was almost like just this.
I gotta make that short.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, man, no, it was just, it was crazy, man. And by 7:15 or 7:30 or whatever it was when when I finally packed it up, it was like, and I mean, like everybody was done. You know what I mean? You can tell they're just like, dude, we're still drilling right now.
Yeah,
People
it's
start
like,
being
we
like,
don't
I
normally
got,
do this, but apparently we got this American
I got stuff I gotta do, man.
potential investor or something.
Yeah.
Up our shit around here.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I think about 7:30 we were probably done, and I was spent, man. Like I hadn't worked my legs like that ever, right? Like clamping, and just trying to like, hold somebody in place.
Yeah, yeah.
Like here, if I take your back and you try to escape, I'm not gonna waste a lot of energy trying to hold you there. Not at all.
Now,
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But because we're doing the drills, like that's the game, is holding somebody there.
Oh my god.
bad position drills, man. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Having trained over there, is there anything that you would recommend that
Or bring back.
That would, that
To
you want to bring
implement.
back to implement here?
I like the fact that that's such a weak part of my game that I hadn't recognized, because I don't use it. Like if I take somebody's back, I'm gonna choke you or I'm gonna take them out. Those are the 2 options that I see from that. I think that like becoming more versatile in your jiu-jitsu is also like playing the game that you don't really like. And because like that part of the game, clamping, holding
Yeah.
somebody close, control, like absolute control, because that's
Well, maintaining the position.
right, yeah. And that is a lot of like competition jiu-jitsu schools practice that part, that aspect is controlling, like the taking the position and holding it.
That's
It
a
is
lot of what
focus.
jiu-jitsu is.
Yeah.
Is controlling an individual on the ground, or maintaining the position.
Right, but there's definitely other takes on that, right?
Different nuances.
There's
Well, that's why there's a difference between
Yeah.
our school and another school. for
right.
sure.
Like the first school that I trained at, his deal was he was a light guy, so he wasn't really controlling people on the ground. He was following, and so
Follow the flow.
Right.
Follow and trapping dudes.
right, exactly. And then when I went to the base, like those guys, those are like competition guys where they are going to hold you in place until like you get a better position. You know, it's very, very different.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about that too. I mean, I did a lot of bad positioning stuff today in the jiu-jitsu aspect because I had some trouble earlier on this week. I was having trouble escaping a mount. Like, I got mounted by Slav, and Slav's pretty good. You know, he can maintain that mount really well. He has great hips. And I had a hard time getting out from underneath them, and there's like nothing I could do. So all today, I pretty much just laid down, had people mount me, and then worked that bubble escape, worked a couple, the UPA, worked, you know, various little escapes that I know, little nuances. But it's that bad positioning stuff, man, when you're, you know, martial arts is funny because I've been focusing quite a bit on the stand-up portion of what I've been doing because we've been getting a lot of competitors that are doing stand-up competition. So that's kind of been my primary focus is my stand-up, creating drills, and by the time jiu-jitsu comes around, I'm like dead tired.
Sure.
So I'll grab, you know, and it's like, you know, I help out the jiu-jitsu class with taking some of the white belts. So I haven't really been, I've been kind of neglecting a little bit of my rolling with some of the upper belts that we have. So when I got stuck under there, I was like, I neglected it way too much. I don't want to get stuck under there. So that's going to be my emphasis now for the next couple weeks. Even though, like, the chances are, I mean, I'm not doing any MMA matches or anything. So chances are I'm going to do like a stand-up sort of match here in the next couple weeks. But I don't want like my jiu-jitsu to suffer just because of competition, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I think historically, like your stand-up game has always been like way better than your jiu-jitsu game.
Yeah, I've always been a striker over a jiu-jitsu guy for sure.
And I think for Slavic, it's the reverse.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, and he's good. By the way, like Slavic is actually really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where I mean, if he gets on top of me, like I have to really figure it out. That it's not like I just blast out. Like I really have to do some math with that kid. And when he's in shape, oh man, it's way worse.
Yeah, and he's been getting in shape too because he's getting ready for a match on the 26th. That's why we're doing some of those rounds.
Yeah.
God, dang man, I gotta get out underneath this dude. So maybe that's why I'm all sad this week. My jiu-jitsu stuff.
No, it's not that, man. It's
not sad.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just that dude has been in that playing that part of his game for like 10 years or something.
Not taking anything away from his ability or what he's been doing. It's just something that I've noticed in my skill set is that because I've been putting so much emphasis over here, I've been neglecting this part, and you know, if you're not training, you know, 6 to 8 hours a day, like you're gonna fall off on one end. You know what I mean?
It's a use it or lose it skill. I think both stand up and rolling. If you're not doing it, then
and a lot of the jiu-jitsu I've been doing is mostly just catching rounds. So getting back to that emphasis on like drilling is needed from time to time. Like, even for like guys that have been doing this, like I said, guys have been doing this for a while. You still have to drill. And, you know, I got that little taste of reality this week, like I said. But, you know, I don't need anybody to tell me that. I'm just going to go and now implement that into my training for the next couple of weeks. Is just letting you, all right, get on top of me, and then just, you know, sucking for a while.
I will let you know that I have fallen into the same kind of. The good news is that I have like the jiu-jitsu club because like none of those guys are striking. So it forces me to like do jiu-jitsu. But when I'm coming here, a lot of times, like if I come in, a lot of times I'll do Tuesday to Wednesday, like at noon. I try not to roll.
Yeah, it's like I fucking striking.
Yeah, like I want to get some striking in, man.
So, because it's hard to find people that want to punch you.
And then so like, and then I'll go like a while and be like, oh dude, I haven't rolled at noon in like a while. if it wasn't for the jiu-jitsu club.
Yeah.
The Wizard was telling me about your guys' little striking matches you guys had earlier. It hurt his toes.
He hurt his toes.
He said that on Friday.
Yeah, he was limping around. He's like, I hurt my big toe kicking Joe. What are you guys doing?
First of all, we haven't done a kickboxing round in like since me and you did a kickboxing round. Like, what is that, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time I did an actual kickboxing.
And Chris hasn't done a kickboxing round probably in a year.
Before the surgery.
Yeah, I don't kick him because of his legs.
Yeah.
So I couldn't box with him.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys doing throughout the week? Like,
Yeah. But I got these new shin pads, and I wanted to make sure that one, they work, and two, like I've never worn them before, so I want to make sure that now I'm wearing them because like people that spar with me, I want them to be able to spar with me, and I don't want to just like crack their leg or whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm wearing these goofy, like, you know, the things that everybody wears, but it just feels so awkward for me. Yeah. What are these gay things called again?
Gee.
Pantyhose? No, just
legs. Come on, wusses.
But so I'm wearing these things, man, and so I'm like, hey, let's just test them out. And it is, because I haven't done kickboxing rounds, it's just very awkward. You know what I mean?
And I can only imagine you guys just like jumping kicks, spinning kicks, and just random freaking pulling your legs out there. Like, what is that? 5 kicks in a row.
Yeah.
What are you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying. You guys like, yeah, I don't know, we're messing around. I can't wait to watch that of it. You guys being crazy.
Yeah, well, it's not good because like, so when my back's messed up, which my back has been messed up off and on, more on than off, and so I'm not kicking when my back's messed up. I'm just.
Well, that's kind of what I was telling you guys, or I was talking to you about, because when we have been talking about your striking, it's all been boxing.
Yeah.
When we're talking about you doing a match, it's been boxing.
Yeah.
You've been saying boxing. It's been Chris, it's been boxing.
Yeah.
So to come in on Friday, Chris limping around, what happened? He's like, we do kickboxing. I've been doing it. I don't know. Hey, I got these new shit pads. Let's do some kickboxing.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I just want to try out my new.
And Chris never says no to anything. That's the thing about Chris. You ask him to do any round, he's like, okay.
No, like, and that is why he is so good for everything. You know, like, because like before I met you, we were in a predominantly jiu-jitsu gym, right? And at one point I was like, dude, our striking is horrible. Like, we really got to like learn this stuff. And there was nobody that was good except for the coach, but he didn't want to do anything with us. And so we were literally just like, put on the gloves, let's do 10 rounds. If we do 10 rounds, we have to get good.
Yeah, we're just get used to hitting each other at release.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So it was basically like the essentially it was like 2 white belts that are training in the garage. You know?
Watching blood sports. Watching some Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah, right?
Stand right here just like this. I'm going to do that for now.
Yeah. But what I will say is he is up for anything.
Yeah. The Wizard is down.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what he did. He opened all this up.
Yeah.
Shoot, that's pretty down.
Yeah.
Jeez. Opened up a jiu-jitsu school that primarily competes in striking. So that guy is down.
Yeah, listen, man. Yeah.
No fear.
No fear. Yeah.
Love it.
I love that's how you confuse your opponent is you come up and you have like a Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu shirt on and they're like, okay, he's gonna take me down.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you just fucking knock him out.
It's like bouncing around like
Do you ever get into the comments underneath any of our matches?
No.
People are like, well, they're wearing a jiu-jitsu gym. I mean, they're representing a jiu-jitsu gym and they're just doing striking. What's going on? And then primarily it's
Yeah.
and Big Ugly and Slav. has done that.
Yeah. Which by the way, haven't they just murdered everybody in the first round?
Yeah, I mean, they both went there. Slav did for sure.
Using jiu-jitsu?
Big Uglies
Yes.
was a little bit more of a match, but honestly, he did really well too. Like,
Yeah.
he used his jiu-jitsu as soon as it got to the ground. I mean, he caught the guy in Kimura.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, they've been doing really well when it comes to that.
So I don't know, man. I think that if you were gonna go, like if I was gonna compete, I think that I always thought that I would want just to be striking, you know, like because
Well,
I know that my jiu-jitsu is good. Like I've competed in jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're gonna do like combine the two, when you the only other thing you can do is MMA.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more factors and aspects to consider when you do MMA.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's easier to just pick one aspect. Like if you're gonna I want to strike in this match, well then just pick boxing because then you only have to worry about fucking hands.
Right. Yeah.
Kickboxing, the angles are a little bit different. So you gotta watch out for kicks and stuff like that. So
And some of the stuff that you do in boxing does not translate over to kickboxing.
Yeah.
Because if you do any of those bend over,
Yeah.
if you're
Shelving.
shelving,
Yeah.
and it's really what you train the most. Because
Yeah, no, so what I notice is that every time I go from like a long stint of just boxing to kickboxing, my brain isn't used to doing that math or keeping track of 4 things instead of 2.
yes,
And so like I start to get fried out way easier. So I'm like, oh god, that's short circuiting. Yeah.
it's overwhelming. It can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
for sure.
And it just takes a little bit of doing it for a while for it to. For your
Yeah.
brain to remember that muscle memory stuff to kick back in.
I'm really glad that those 2 guys are doing as well as they are in this scrapyard, you know?
Yeah, they are. I mean, we'll see if Big Ugly gets back out there. Apparently, he's sticking along to street fighting nowadays.
What happened?
He came in.
Yeah.
He got into a little scuffle with a couple of his buddies last night, or the night before.
Why?
Taking keys away from an intoxicated person.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was saving a life, bro, and they didn't like it. So he's like, no, I'm not gonna let you go. And they got into a scuffle, and yeah, he's got a little scratch on his elbow, but he handled himself really well.
It wasn't Brian, was it?
No.
Oh, okay. So
It's
he probably
people
just,
we don't know.
it's
Yeah.
probably just somebody that he strangled.
Yeah, it was somebody in
Yeah.
training.
Yeah,
And they
that's-
tried to do a shot on him, and he's like, what the hell? That's not how you do that, guys.
Yeah. Critiques him and then chokes him on
Yeah,
the face and then just
exactly.
takes his keys. Like, all right,
Yeah. I mean,
you settle down, bud.
it's unfortunate that, when alcohol's involved and, those things kind of happen. We gave emphasis on the, hey man, be careful out there. We've been in situations where things escalate very quickly.
Yeah.
So, just gave him a little bit of that, but also, he's a man, he's gonna handle himself, he's gonna handle those situations, and he did well. And, even though he's not competing, it just shows you that what we do in here will translate over to real life as well.
Yeah.
And without that kind of training, I mean, that could have been a really bad situation,
Sure.
Definitely.
You don't ever want to be on the end of somebody's mercy, I guess.
Not
Because some
winners.
people don't have it.
Yeah.
They'll continuously hit you. I've seen it. Where they have to get pulled off of you because they have whatever it is in their head, they don't want to stop. They have that whole mentality of like, oh, I'm not going to stop till somebody pulls me off. And some people that are inexperienced, they don't realize when enough is enough either.
Yeah.
And unintentionally, they go too far.
Yeah.
Just because they get told stupid things by like their parents or by somebody in their life. It's like, oh yeah, you don't stop hitting until somebody pulls you off. Or you let somebody hit you first and then you get It's like all this stupid advice of like, really, you're gonna let somebody clock you and then you're gonna attack them? Like, all that seems dumb to me.
Yeah.
But if you're getting advice from untrained individuals, it's like you're gonna get some weird stuff sometimes.
Well, you gotta think like back in the day when you were hearing all that shit.
There wasn't
You didn't
YouTube.
know. You didn't know.
There wasn't World Star out there. It's gonna
Like I really
straight
thought
in.
that my so I had one uncle that used to say that he was like 3rd in the world in boxing, right?
Yeah,
And
I've
so-
met a couple of those
Yeah,
guys.
and one day, like now I'm in college and I'm like, third in the world of boxing. I'm gonna look your name.
You're all like, I've never even.
Yeah.
I've never even heard anybody say your name.
Yeah. And no, by the way, I don't think he had a boxing record at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was his record?
Yeah.
Come to find out,
Yeah.
none of it was ever recorded. Huh?
Yeah.
Weird. Weird.
So, but you know, back in the day when I was a kid, dude, one, there's no internet back then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Two, like, I know, how could anybody lie about that?
Yeah.
How could anybody lie about that?
3, he can kick your ass.
Yeah,
You're
he
like,
kicked my ass, and like most people are afraid of him. So why would I
It all
not?
checks out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's funny when you start dissecting some of that, I don't know, delusional shit that you're fed, and you kind of find out, oh, it was all bullshit.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
you know, it happens, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met some pretty killers out there. Some real pretty killers.
I think the worst is county jail. There's always, like, if you're in county jail, you are surrounded by people that are ninjas and UFC fighters and
Professionals.
special forces.
I've been in 500 fights.
Yeah, like,
And maybe they have.
yeah,
All the
well,
streets.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Nah, I know. I used to train with guys that were affiliated with certain organizations that
Sure.
are frowned upon,
Yeah.
whether it be, you know, street gangs or biker gangs or whatever you want to call these individuals. And yeah, at the clubs, you know, they're respected. They walk around chest out, you know, they got their knives and their little whatever, and guys look at them like, oh, you don't want to mess with those guys. And then you get them in the gym and come to find out, like, well, bro, you don't really have any cardio. You know, I guess sitting at a bar and drinking all night doesn't really help you with fighting. You know, it just makes you look tough or cool. You know?
Well, the other
To
thing
those people.
is
Yeah.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying they might look cool or tough to those people, but then when those skills are tested,
Yeah.
Not to say there aren't some tough individuals out there that
No,
do this
no,
stuff, that do that stuff or whatever, but a lot of times it's like few and far between, man. Like, you know, in those groups you have a couple guys that can really get down.
Yeah.
And then you have a bunch of like little hyenas,
Yeah.
you know, that'll jump on you.
but there's safety in numbers
Yeah.
for them.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are.
And I'm not talking about anybody in particular out there, just a heads up. Whatever.
Yeah, because you know, I could be a better fighter than people, but if there's like 5,
Shit, there's 2 sometimes.
yeah, there's 2 like real good ones. Like, oh man,
If there's
That's
2
rough.
real fighters out there,
Yeah.
hey, that's really good.
yeah,
No numbers get everybody, bro. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's like the movies.
right, yeah,
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy when I've met individuals, martial art masters out there that really do claim, and I don't know if they believe it or not, but their big claims are like, you know, I'll walk into a room, I'll clear it out, I'll clear out 10 dudes, and you're just like, and a lot of times like, it's at a traditional seminar
Yeah.
or some shit, and you're not trying to be disrespectful, but to me, I'm sitting there like, shut up, dude. But then you
Yeah.
get some individuals that have never been in any kind of like altercation or actual fight or anything like that, and they're really just sitting there sipping that Kool-Aid like, oh wow, this guy, because again, he can, you know, break some boards, or his technique looks clean, but you know, chances are you don't really land super clean techniques in combat. Like you see it all the time, like it's chaotic,
It's chaos.
you know? So
And unpredictable.
yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just having a weird day, I guess. I'm just being the least mindful.
Why? Yeah. Well, I think that you know, sometimes those traditional guys. I mean, I know that back in the day, if somebody said that they were a black belt in karate, I would think twice about even wanting to fight. I remember I thought twice when I was in high school about fighting a dude who was probably a white belt in jiu-jitsu, and he probably would beat my ass. But even if he had like, you know,
He knew how to maintain a position.
yeah, he would have got me.
God dang.
And I remember thinking like, man, this guy's going like a ninja. You know,
Right? It's
And,
something about the way that they tie their belts. They're just like, God damn. Kill him.
Really knows how to tie that belt.
Yeah, he must be a professional.
He's done this before.
Yeah. But you know that
What do they tie it backwards? I always tie them. It's weird.
But it's you know, one of those things where like, I mean, say they like all they have to do is beat one dude up that's stealing some wine, you know, and then all of a sudden like they have a score.
That guy's known.
Yeah.
I know. I'd get that at the bar sometimes, you know, because usually like if you work at a bar, you don't really start till like 5 or 6 at night, right?
Yeah.
And in all the ghetto shitty bars I've worked at, they didn't have like security during the day.
Oh yeah.
So if the bar opened up at 10, there would be security till like 5. So during the day it was like the Wild West, right?
Yes.
But sometimes they would have like you know, a certain regular or something that would always step in during the day. If there was like an issue, like
Yeah.
you know, who's really causing issues at a bar during the day? Like you got to be a real something.
People.
Exactly, but a lot of the times it's like the bartender's like some old lady.
Yeah.
And you just get like a bunch of old dudes in there that are just hanging around getting drunk for the day or whatever it is. So you don't get a whole lot of issues, but every once in a while, like someone will pop off and you'll come in, you know, you start your shift at like 5 or whatever. And you're like, yeah, Randy today, man, you get to throw a guy out. And now Randy's like, you know,
He's a town hero.
he's a bar. Yeah, exactly. He's the bar enforcer, bro. Like during the day, it's like I come to clock in, Randy's walking out, like, all right, bro, handing you the keys. Randy, you're drunk as shit. What are you doing? And then come to find out, like, all Randy really had to do was like stand in front of some dude that was yelling at the bartender.
Yeah.
And that's what they consider as like, well, during the confrontation, he was
handled the
there.
situation.
And then now he's like, yeah, you get that little pin on your chest.
To be fair, I mean, him just being there probably, you know.
It probably did.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
I mean, chances are most people don't want to like actually engage in physical conflict. Like, don't get me wrong, there's guys out there, if they can like sneak one off on you and pop you, they will.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're ready and you're actually squared up with somebody, chances are the guy's not gonna really want to square off and fight you. That's why you get a lot of that, hit me, bro, or come over here, bro, or pushing, shoving.
Yeah.
I never understand that. Like, if we're having some kind of weird altercation, it's getting loud, I'm not gonna let you get within striking distance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna step back, and if you keep pursuing, then I'm gonna hit you, like, as soon as you get close to me. That's usually how that's how I think combat is. If we're really having an issue and you're really being threatening, I'm not gonna wait for you to tee off on me and then me have to fight from my back. Like, no, I'm just gonna end that shit.
When I was younger, I had a really hard time with that because I didn't understand that like, hey, go time isn't when like I would have to get punched before I understood that I was in a fight.
Yeah.
When you can recognize it so far before that.
Yeah. And sometimes when you recognize that early, you can really de-escalate the situation before it ramps up, because as soon as they hit you, you're, like I said, you're fighting from like on your heels, so it may require more of you to handle the situation compared to if you just meet it right then, put them on their ass real fast, be like, okay, now I have control of the situation, I can escalate this and really hurt you, or now I can make that decision like, okay, now just go away. But ultimately, you have control of the situation at that point, compared to, like I said, giving them all the power to dictate when this fight's gonna start.
Right.
And then I'll maybe have the power to decide if it ends or not. Like, no, bro.
Yeah, because there have been times where, like, I've been struck, and it was somebody that did not have the power to put me down, and it just, like, it didn't matter as much. But then there have been times where that first punch mattered.
Yeah.
It was like,
whoa, I wasn't expecting
I'm
that.
dazed, I got dropped, my skull got split open, you know what I mean?
And then now it's like I'm having to really fight from this bad position.
Yeah.
And that means I may end up hurting this person more than I even intended to, just because I'm in a bad position, like, you know how hard it is, even in jiu-jitsu, you have to fight a little bit harder when you're in those bad positions.
Yeah.
Same concept goes for like stand-up. I'm not gonna allow you to just tee off on me before I make a reaction. I understand range, bro. As soon as you get within that striking range, I know you can hit me. That's enough for me. You know, you've already been threatened. You've already did the words. We can do this across the room. As soon as you play the like now we have a problem for real. But yeah, I mean, and in my experience, 12 years of having these weird little altercations with people, most people don't want to engage in that. Like I said, they want to hit you. They want to hit you when you're not looking, because everybody wants that nice little clean knockout and then run, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. You look like a real badass, just teeing off on a dude, and you get a reputation like that, yeah, that's not my thing. I don't like to just tee off on dudes myself, not anymore. Pass all out.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're still like training, man, is because there's a place for all that weird energy,
Exactly.
I don't have to go and bring that into the world, it's weird.
It causes issues.
I don't feel the need to constantly, like I used to have to constantly size everybody up. You know what I mean? All the time, and I don't have to do that anymore. Every once in a while I'll see somebody that like looks like my old friend. I'm like, oh man, maybe. But it's not all the time. You know what I mean?
Not like it
monkeys when they see you.
It's a monkey, but he's wearing basketball shorts.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're coming to it. You guys got anything coming up?
What do I have coming up? So this radio show.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the thing. You know what? It's not even important. But I was asked to reach out to this independent radio show.
Oh, that's really cool.
I'm gonna see what that's all about. If they want me on it, or
they heard about the pod.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
they might have.
We need you.
Well, actually,
We're calling you up to the big leagues.
Actually, what happened was the lady that is trying to plug me in with these guys, she did hear about our podcast. So she was
pretty popular. So.
She was my old tutor for last semester when I was when I needed to be tutored for accounting. And so she was like, "Hey, your new episode came out," and she was kind of insinuating that like you weren't on it, and I was like, "Yeah, like I've been gone. It's for like a month." He's not gonna we're not gonna wait for me to be around. Yeah, and so I was like, "Look, it comes out every week. I won't be in the next 3, and I should be in the next one." And then and she's like, "Well, we want to get a hold of these people, and And I was just like, yeah,
You want to come see what a real legit one looks like?
Oh, I don't even. So even if I do, I thought that this was for the college. Is what I originally thought. I was like, oh, it must be like some students, like a club or something.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not a club. So apparently, it's an actual radio show.
That's right.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Actually.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, definitely.
The Jiu-Jitsu Club is now we finally are meeting Thursdays, and not every Thursday because our schedules are all messed up. And so far that's it. That's all that's coming up. What about you?
Jiu-Jitsu? Yeah. What do you got going on?
I have some logos that I have to get finished up. Some red box logos so I can get my merch uploaded to movies.
Nice. Yes.
Gonna get some merch going here soon.
Yeah, we are. Speaking of that merch, we're gonna have some merchandise for the podcast. We actually already have merchandise for the podcast. We're currently selling T-shirts
and sweatshirts.
And sweatshirts. Yep, that's all we're selling right now. T-shirts and sweatshirts. If you'd like one, Forever a White Belt T-shirt or a sweatshirt, reach out to me. We're gonna go $35 for the shirts and $50 for the sweaters. So yeah, anybody who would like to pick up some merchandise from us, we'll be wearing it here soon.
Yes.
Reach out to me and we'll get that going, guys. I plan on also selling some merchandise on Millions, that app right there. So if you don't have it, download it. I've done a couple of interviews already for Millions. I've also hosted one interview with the Punisher.
That was a good interview. I mean,
it was pretty good.
The fact that the audio kept falling out, that was annoying.
Yeah, I'm working on that stuff. You know how audio is with me. Teach you with my audio.
This is why you can't leave us alone with all the equipment.
I know.
Yeah.
You guys need my IT
Yeah.
Oh
skills.
shit. But yeah, check that out. That interview is now available for public viewing. I did an interview with the Punisher. He's our Canadian Connect.
Nice.
So yeah, that's happening. Millions. Check out the Facebook, Naughty Nate Smith. We go live every Friday for our Free for All, which is our open mat. That's been doing really well, actually. We're getting quite a few views. People tuning into that, checking out what we do here on Friday nights, and we get
a lot of people in here.
yeah, we get a lot of like people cross training with us and stuff like that. So we get a lot of good competitive rounds on here on Friday nights. So if you'd like to come and join us on Friday nights, or tune in and check out the live stream, do so on Facebook.
5 p.m. on Fridays, Pacific Standard Time.
That's it right there. Couple things coming up is, what do we got? April 26th, like I said, the next Scrapyard event. Looking forward to that. We have 4 competitors so far. Looking to add to that. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. We got May 3rd here. They're going to be doing the OG Branch Invasion. Yeah, that should be really interesting. They're taking, I think they got like 8 or 9 Scrapyard competitors. They're going to be going over to Virginia to compete at the original Street Beast organization. And yeah, we're looking forward to that. Yeah, let's see, what else do we got? Isaac's match is May 17th, Emerald Green Casino. Oh, we're gonna be going to, shout out to Viking Warrior, man. I'm gonna be sending him, I need to send him his money today. He has his second pro debut fight on April 18th. It's going to be in Happy Valley, Oregon, which is right by our house.
I mean, yeah, it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 5-10 minutes from us. So we're going to be checking that out on April 18th. I'm going to leave a little link in the description below. So if you guys want to check that out, maybe you'll run into us at the event there.
Yeah.
But we're going to be going to check out some pro boxing match. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's pretty much what we've got going on here in the next week or two. So yeah, hopefully, all that goes well.
Nice.
Anyways, guys, tune in next week. Anybody got anything? No?
Thanks for tuning in today.
Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.
And when I say I'm gonna do something, I do it. I don't give a damn what you think. I'm